Right, just a very quick update. Wheels and tyres, Amazons. The ones I tend to use these days are the original 16515s, but if I possibly can, I try to put them on the 4.5 inch wide estate rims. Seems to get good handling and light steering as well. I've never really gone for the super wide ones. I think they just cause you too much bother. On an estate, of course, you don't have problems with spare wheel storage, but on a saloon you can't get wide wheels in the wheel well, which is annoying. Right, so the history of Amazon wheels. You start off with what's known as the sort of the solid disc ones. They don't have the slots. These are good wheels. They're nice. They're strong. Volvo rallied and raced them. They don't have the ventilation to cool the brakes down. Not that that seems to be a problem. I just happen to prefer the smaller stainless hubcaps on the later ones. Just seem to be easier to live with, and yeah, you can often get them in better nick. These came in 4 inch wide and 4.5 inch wide for estates and 1800 sports cars. Some of the PVs, early PVs, will have even narrower ones. I did have some of those on a 444. When they switched to the later wheels, there is some variation on these. If you look at this one, which is just temporarily fitted to a saloon, you'll see that this inner surface of the rim is smooth. That's sort of, you can get these up to 67, still looking like that. And the type of valve it's got is the big fat valve that you see on Land Rovers and VW Beetles. If you have these sort of wheels, good idea to buy some valves off eBay, because the tyre bays often don't have them. Now, later on, I think 67, late 67, you will start to get wheels that have this contour on the inside of the rim. That's to stop the tyre coming off the rim if there's a puncture, and that is desirable and it's nice to have. You'll notice this wheel still has the big valve, and yeah, they're nice. These are on an estate, they're 4.5J. Again, estates and 1800S have the 4.5 wheels. Contrary to what I expected, I gathered GTs, 123 GTs, didn't have the wider wheel. So there. Now, you don't often get these, but they do exist. Very late Amazon wheels with the smaller modern valve on them. And these are 4.5Js. This is an estate wheel, or indeed a late 1800S wheel. So those are nice to have, because then you're never going to have any trouble finding valves. So there. Cool. Right, this particular car does have a different tyre size. I happened upon some 185/70 15s. Now, estates are supposed to have 185. 80 15s is really hard to get. These are not an easy tyre to find, but I think, and they're very expensive, because I think they're used on Porsches. But they does drive well on this, actually, but hard to find. So I've not tried this on my other cars. I just run them on 165 15s. Now I'm in the process of trying to sort out some more of the 4.5J wheels, these slightly wider ones. Got some knocking around. They had tyres on, 2 of them not too bad. A third one got some water inside the rim and it's in pretty rough shape. But I'm just having a try at derusting them and getting them usable. This one's come out okay, as has this one. That was really hitting them with a needle gun and then rotary wire brush and the inevitable cleaner strip disc. Those I'm happy with. They're now in etch primer, and I'll hit them with some epoxy and then some metallic grey rather than silver. This is the rather rough one. I can see this being an issue. I may well have to fit an inner tube with this wheel, because the sealing surfaces are rather rough. Got away with it on the valve hole, just about, but it'll need a ferrule again because the hole's rather big. We'll see how we go. Hopefully I can get another 3 of the slightly wider wheels. These are dated. This one, interestingly, is dated 66, which is what you'd expect, whereas this one over here, yes, it's actually dated it's dated 67, but it's, well, where are we? Yeah, it's dated 67, but it is identical. So the change took place within 67. I mean, there's a month date on there. Should have looked at that. But that's about all you can get in the variety of these wheels. If you've got decent ones, keep hold of them. I'm not certain, but I gather some of the newly produced wheels, you can buy these new, there can sometimes be an issue getting the hubcaps on them. Sometimes the hubcaps will slip off. I don't know if they've fixed that problem, but I know it was a pain for some folks. Anyway, Volvo wheels.